All right, my name is Jessica Kerrigan. I am GGC's political correspondent for the GNN, and today I am with James Woodall, who is running for a House seat out in Statesboro. Hello, James. How are you today?
I'm doing well. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. So I just want you to start off by talking a little bit about yourself.
Yes, well, as you said, my name is James Major Woodall. I am a candidate for state representative in District 160, which is encompassing Bullock County, as well as a very, very small part of Bryan County. And I am honored to be able to serve this community. I have spent the last 5.5 years in the United States Army Reserve as an intelligence analyst, and I'm looking forward to going commissioned or warrant officer in the next year or so. What got me into politics was just being a normal human being, being informed and being concerned about the general welfare of our community. I have always been interested in politics. It's been a very, very exciting time in my life and very exciting experiences to see the interactions of our elected officials, to see our leaders serving the community, working with each other in various capacities to move our community forward. And I've always looked towards that end to contribute to our great democracy and to make true the promises thereof.
Now, I know you are only 22. I'm 24, so this makes me feel very ashamed that I'm just now getting into politics in the past few years. So, what can you say to other people our age on how they should get involved in politics and why they should get involved in politics?
Well, I would say this. A lot of people look at my age, and I've pushed out, and our campaign has pushed out my candidacy being possibly a historical landmark for our state. If elected, and when I'm elected, I will be the youngest serving and elected state representative in Georgia history. That is huge. As a millennial, it has become our obligation to serve our community and to move it forward. As we see in the national climate, as well as in the state and local jurisdictions, that there's a sense of urgency in this moment that we have to take up ourselves and take up our arms and fight. And fight for the community and the beloved community that we know we are deserving of, and build that community for not only ourselves, but for our children and for our children's children. And if you look throughout history, there has never been another demographic of citizenry that contributed as much as to the social and political progression in our country than millennials and than those in the 18 to 24 age group. And I, too, am a part of that group. And it doesn't take a lot to become involved politically. It doesn't take a lot for you to want to give something more to contribute to that society. And all it takes is you wanting to make a difference and believing that the power of your purpose is enough. Because that's what will push us over the top and into seats of public accountants, as well as making us the leaders of not only tomorrow but today. And that's what I've sought to do in my race, in my campaign. I've sought to not only become an elected official, but I've also sought to inspire other young people to get involved and be that change that they wish to see, because we are what we've been waiting for. We're not going to see any other person come out of the sky and save us. Because our job here on earth is not to save the world, but it's to give it a choice. And that choice is between good and evil. That choice is between livelihood and corporate gain. That choice is between good spirits and good community. We have a choice to make. But we can't make that choice unless we are willing to take a stand on what we believe in.
I totally agree. Yes, especially within this election, it is very important for people to get out and turn out the vote. Specifically, it being a presidential election, it's more popular than other elections. But if you could, I would like to know some of your positions on some Georgia issues that are probably going to be on the ballot this session.
Definitely. So I am voting and I'm urging my constituents and my supporters to vote no on every single amendment. And this is why. The burden of proof lies on the state of Georgia and its elected officials to prove to its citizens why the Constitution shall be amended thereof. There has not been enough support coming from the Georgia legislature for those who support the 4 constitutional amendments, other than saying this is what Georgia should do. There has not been given enough reason nor resource to be able to push that message out in an efficient way and in an effective way. So, going line by line, Amendment 1, the Opportunity School District. The Opportunity School District does not provide us with a solution to chronically failing schools. It only simply gives the power of appointment to Governor Deal and his successor to create an Opportunity School District that would house, if you will, identify schools that are chronically failing. They do not meet a standard of resolution that creates an environment that is conducive to the success of our students. And we cannot afford to make a wrong decision again. We have seen the Opportunity School District in its entirety fail in Michigan. We have seen it fail in its entirety in Louisiana. And we cannot afford to make Georgia the next failure. We have to be committed to doing what is effective, what is efficient, but most of all, what solves problems. The second amendment I'm concerned about is the Judicial Qualifications Commission amendment that says that we shall dismember and dismantle the commission because it is ineffective. I believe that that is an intentional effort on the part of those who have been disbarred and removed from their judicial seats, from their judgeships, because they want to see another process in place. The JQC is working. It has worked, and we cannot afford to allow for people that serve on our benches to not have any oversight nor hold any accountability to each other. The JQC is set to do just that. And so, if they cannot, present a alternative, which they have failed to do, again, first thing with the OSD and now with the JQC, there has not been a resolution or an alternative to the problems that we recognize. So, unfortunately, I don't believe that we should just be doing away with stuff when it doesn't work and not present any alternatives to it. But that also begs the question whether it has worked or not. And I'll leave that alone. The other 2 amendments, from Rachel's Law to the Fireworks Law, there has not been enough information provided to the public. I personally know about them. I'm informed about them. But I don't think, as a state, we have not fulfilled our obligation to inform the public on why it should be changed in the first place. So I am urging them to vote no until we can come to a standard solution. I don't believe that we should be taxing places of business like strip clubs to provide for such a victims fund. I think we should do our due diligence in protecting our victims. But let me be clear, I do not believe that should come at the expense of business owners. We have to work with our business owners, not tax them, because they are in the type of business that they are in. They do pay taxes. So I don't think we should be raising their taxes just to support this fund that has not proven, again, how it would resolve some of the issues that it seeks to solve. So that's where I stand on those issues. I will be voting no. I've urged my constituents to vote no, my supporters to vote no, and that's what will take place. Some of the other issues that I'm focused on now in Georgia politics, here in Bullitt County, there is a proposal to rezone over 4,000 acres of agricultural land. I am disappointed that there has been an effort on not only just the local leadership but state leadership as well to use their power and their influence to support the political establishment and to represent the capital interest of business owners alike. I think at a certain point we have to decide on what's more important. Do we support the will of the people or the will of big business? I am a legislator who will support the will of the people. I am serving the people. Those are the people who elect me and will continue to elect me as long as I do my responsibility and I serve. So any effort that undermines the will of the people, I will be in direct opposition to, no matter the substance nor the interest of big business. I do not represent the establishment, nor do I represent the elite. I am a statesman, and I represent the people first and foremost. And that's that.
Awesome. And then one last question. For those who don't want to go out and vote this season because of the presidential candidates that they have to choose from, what would you tell them to turn them out to go vote?
I tell them that it doesn't matter who becomes president if we have the same type of leadership in our communities. We can elect Hillary Clinton because I am with her all the way. There is nothing that Hillary Clinton can do that would make me vote for Donald Trump. But let us also be concerned that all over the state of Georgia, that no matter who's the president, who's been the president, we haven't seen a consistent push for types of legislation such as the campus carry bill, that it will be coming back. They will be trying to get guns brought on our college campuses. We have legislation we have a lack of legislation in areas like the Hope Scholarship. The Hope Scholarship is set to run out per current funding by the year 2028. Our children deserve to be able to go to college at an affordable rate and using affordable means. And if we as legislators and we as constituents and we as voters and we as citizens don't do our due service to ensure that that environment and that community exists, we'll be doing them and putting them at a disadvantage. So if we don't do it for ourselves and we don't believe that this election we should be voting for the president, let's vote for our children. Let's vote for future generations that will ensure that those promises to which our Constitution allows and endows for us, that we meet. That we ensure that they become true this day so that they can enjoy the promises thereof. So that's what I would tell to college students. Don't think simply just about yourself. Don't think simply just because you don't agree with the national level of politics, because neither do I. But what I am committed to doing is being that change that I wish to see and doing my part to make true that promise. And that's what I will share with them.
Well, thank you so much, Major Woodall, for speaking with me today. I wish you the best luck in your endeavors, and I hope you have a great week this week.
Sounds good. Thank you, Jessica. I appreciate it.
Thank you.